Who came up with Happy Dad?
So, I mean, we could get into the story of that, but yeah, actually my first ever employee, Manager Drew, if you guys know him, I've known him since 6th grade. He grew up on my street. So he was like our first ever, me and Jesse hired him when we were working out of my basement. And at that time we were drinking Coronas. And Corona was typically a drink for like older people. You didn't see like frat kids drinking Coronas. We were drinking Coronas and we started saying it's Rona season. And we started saying it in videos. And then, saying it in videos. And then we would start to pull up to frats in our videos. And I pull up and they all have Coronas ready for us. And they're like giving us Coronas. And I was like, damn, like this is crazy. Because I always seen my dad and my mom drinking Coronas, not like frat kids. And then we did a merch drop and we sold, no lie, 22,000 units of Rona season shirts. Just like we had 2 SKUs, white and blue, 22,000 in 24 hours.
What's the gross revenue of something like that? That's got to be like
couldn't tell you. I mean, maybe the
$5
shirts
$6 million.
maybe the shirts were like $29.99.
It's about $5 million.
Yeah, and then profits probably like all said and done, maybe like 40% with like all said and done.
Did Corona not sue you over that?
No, so we wanted to get a deal with Corona. So we're like, yo, like we tried to reach out to Corona, different people were trying to reach out. Now that I'm in the alcohol industry, I understand why they couldn't touch us because we're chugging beers in public, we're drinking in stores with Target uniforms on. So there's so many rules in the alcohol industry with like marketing that you like can't break. So now that I'm in it, I understand why they couldn't touch us, but it worked as a blessing in disguise because different companies would approach us and say like, hey, take 10% of our alcohol company, or here's X amount of cash to like promote our company. But bro, when I saw the influence that we had with alcohol, like I saw it with my own eyes and I was like, dude, I think this is $1 billion play.
So you came up with the idea of Happy Dad?
I came up with the idea of launching our own alcohol for sure. So I had met John at a dinner. He's told the story, but he was with Justin Bieber, who I've obviously looked up to my whole life, like, growing up in similar. He's my age too. He grew up in Canada. Bieber was a fan of ours because we've done like hockey pranks and stuff too. So I'm sure he liked that. But I met him with Bieber, and then me and John and Sam got a dinner and we chopped it up, and they basically said like, yo, how can we help you? Like, we want to help out in some way. And I was like, listen, I want to start an alcohol company. If you guys want to project manage it, because I don't want to do the business side of it. I don't want to do the cans and the shipping and any of the logistical. Like Sammy, our CEO, is an absolute killer. Yeah. I don't want to know anything about that. I want to stick to the marketing, the strategy, and the branding, So they said, yeah, we're down. So we kind of teamed up and we came up with the name Happy Dad. We kind of just put in a group chat where like everyone spit out names. Winning name's going to get like 5K. And someone came up with the name Happy Dad and we all loved it. And then once we came up with this logo,
the logo.
We wanted to go for a beer vibe on a seltzer because all the seltzers it was all women drinking them, right? Like there was the skinny cans too. So we wanted to go for like a retro beer vibe on a seltzer, and we wanted to go after the male demographic. So right when we saw this like retro logo, we just fell in love with it.
What was the second name you almost went with?
Well, originally we were always debating, like people were telling us too, like, oh, why don't you call it Full Send Seltzer or like NELK Seltzer? Like, what's Happy Dad? Like, why Happy Dad, right? But if you look at any of the brands that have sold or like exited, which could be a potential play for us too, right, is to exit. You want the brand to be bigger than NELK or Full Send, right? I think you box yourself in if we were to call it like obviously a NELK Seltzer, right?
Yeah.
Happy Dad, we wanted to use our existing platform to promote it, but obviously we want it to be bigger than us, right? Like look at Casamigos by George Clooney or something, right? A lot of people I'll be like, yo, like Casamigos, like George Clooney started that and like sold it. And they're like, really? And like, that's the goal with Happy Dad too, with me. Like sometimes I'll see people in the gym now and they'll be wearing a Happy Dad hat. And
I see this
I'll go up
everywhere.
to them and try to like make eye contact with them. And they like grill me. They don't even know who I am. But I take that as a compliment because I'm like,
that's huge. Bro,
this is really working. Because if this is ever going to sell or exit or become, super, super, super profitable, it's got to be way bigger than NELK. And I think that's a mistake a lot of other influencers are making with their products is they're just too much of the face of it. if that makes sense.
If they go away, the product goes away.
Yeah.
So isn't it then a good idea for you not to wear the Happy Dad hat?
I just love the Happy Dad.
It's free
hats, though.
marketing.
I mean, I can still rep it, but
Sure.
if you look at our Happy Dad Instagram, like you're not going to see me like in every single post. You're not going to like I'm on there, but it's also like because a lot of these companies too, they're skeptical of celebrity brands, right? Like there's always this fear of like, oh, that's a celebrity brand, that's an influencer brand. There hasn't been that many that have like really sold. Like, what's one that's actually like sold, right? Besides Hailey Bieber's?
I was about to say Hailey Bieber.
Cars and Boots, right? A little bit of it.
I mean, that was a $20 or $40 million acquisition. This would be in like the hopefully billion.
Right.
Have you been approached at all to sell Happy Dad?
Not to sell. No, we haven't even like thought about positioning ourselves to sell yet. We're growing so much. We're the only, I think us and White Claw are the only seltzers that are still growing. Every other seltzer is declining. White Claw is growing in like single digits. And we're growing in like double digits every year. It's been 4 years. So we're just steady growing. Our distribution's growing every year.
Are you taking profits from this or are you just reinvesting?
I haven't taken a penny from Happy Dad.
Really?
Not one single penny.
Has it been tempting to take any money from Happy Dad?
No, because we have much bigger goals than that. You know, I could take a salary from Happy Dad, but I'm in this for the long term. Like this is my baby. Like even to see where it's been now, it's been 4 years.
Yeah.
It's blown my wildest dreams to see where it's at. So we're in this for the long term, yeah.
So out of one can, what can you sell one can for? And then how much profit do you get?
The profit's about like 12% when it's all in. Yeah, I mean, but we don't control the prices of the cans. That's up to the store, right? Each store. So sometimes we'll get flack and they'll be like, why are you selling like a 12-pack for $40? Yeah. And we're like, yo, that's up to the store. Like we can't tell the store what to sell their price for. So what we do is we make it through a brewery, and then in each state you have to have a different distributor, because all the laws are super old. It's all like laws from Prohibition. So it's super old school laws. So we don't even sell directly to the store. So we sell to a distributor in a state, and then that distributor sells to the store.
What's the craziest law that you've seen when it comes to selling alcohol? Because I saw you had that whole like Happy Dad do's and don'ts. And I think one of them was like you can't market drinking the beverage, right? Isn't there like
you
weird...
You can't associate it with health and wellness in any way. Obviously, you can't say alcohol's healthy. So I think it's definitely like macros wise, if you compare it to a beer. I mean, a Corona has 13 grams of carbs. This is 2 grams of carbs. So, but obviously you can't say it's healthy in any way. You can't associate it with can't drink it in the gym. Obviously drinking and driving, that's obvious. The rule I hate the most is you cannot on another alcohol product. So you'll have to bleep this, but I can't say I can't say
that's
that. Or
crazy.
Have you ever realized how we've never really said there's been no NELK campaign
Wait a second. Is that but
that's
how can
a rule?
But how can Mr. Beast say that
Because
about Hershey's?
It's an alcohol.
It's
rule.
only alcohol.
It's only alcohol.
So is this something that all of the alcoholic companies got together? Is like, yo, let's just shake hands. Let's not shit talk each other.
I don't know. Yeah, it's such old school laws. So that's one thing that I wish we could, because NELK, we would do that so well. Like even Steve, imagine him on other brands and stuff like that too. But that's one interesting rule too.
What % of Happy Dad do you own?
I think all in for NELK, NELK as a whole, around %.
That's phenomenal.
That's on a product like this now is I think that's a historic.
How much did you guys
deal.
raise?
We didn't raise anything at the beginning.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was self-funded. So the put up a little bit for production. So NELK didn't have to put in anything too.
Dude,
so we got that.
Away,
you don't get equity usually without putting in money too.
Yeah.
Right? And also so I kind of negotiated my deal first, and then Jesse and Steve's deal was similar too. And it's there's no vested equity. There's no there was talks of phantom equity too, where it's we all own this. It's ours. It's a good,
Wow.
And we have incredible partners. John and Sam are I love them.
John
They're
is
the best.
on it.
John's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a genius. And then Sam's just a complete robot, where he's the hardest worker. He inspires me with his work.
Can you say what the current valuation of Happy Dad is and what you would sell it for?
In a dream scenario, when you exit, you get a big cash bag, and then you get to work I'd say you get to work for the company for X amount of years usually, consult them, do whatever you need to do. And then also, we're not just going to sell to a company that's going to drive it into the ground. Like, you're going to partner with a company that's going to take your product and like, we're only in 2 countries.
Yeah.
We're in the US and Canada, and like, we should be in Australia. I just went to Australia. Like, we have as much fans in Australia as we have in like Canada. We went to Ireland. We get swarmed. Like, we could be everywhere. So if we ever exit, it's going to be with a company that's also going to take Happy Dad, see our vision, and help take it to the next level.